Alright, let me out.
Basically, I have to
Say it 3 times fast.
Papa Panda podcast.
Papa
Panda
Podcast.
Papa Panda.
Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Papa Panda podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Papa Panda podcast, the very first episode. I'll be your host, Lucas, for today, and this is our very special guest, Akira. He's been a film student since, would you guys say, 6th grade?
Yeah.
And now is a senior and working on the Papa Film Western, which is a very fun project, right? How long have you guys been working on it for now?
I don't know, about a month or so. Month and a half, maybe.
I remember the film last year took a little while to film. Is this kind of like following the same timeline?
Kind of. It was a lot more rushed in pre-production, you know. Had about a week to make the script and the shot plan, everything else. But yeah, it was a lot faster.
So do you guys feel like that this one's like the pacing has been alright?
Yeah, I feel like the pacing is fine. There's a few things we had to cut out, so it may be a bit fast, but you know, I think it's pretty solid. Yeah.
Well, before I get into these questions, I just want to know, like, do you like how it's turning out?
It's a little wonky in some later scenes, but some of the first few scenes I've been editing, it's great.
Nice.
Lighting's good, and the actors are phenomenal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. That's what I love to hear right there. And okay. Well, I got this first question for you right here, and these are gonna be like a little more thought-provocative. So can you name a film that has changed how you film and storytell, if there even is one?
That's a good question. If I had to pick like a specific film that influenced my like storytelling style, I would say Little Miss Sunshine. I think it's a flawless movie for what it tries to do, and it really gets me into like, I don't know, like very tight scripts, you know, no drag, no wasted time.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Who's that directed by?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just like the movie.
Fair enough. Honestly, one of my favorite movies, I have no clue who directed it. I just know that it's a great movie and holds a special place in my heart.
What movie is that?
That movie is The Departed. I love that movie. It's got Leonardo DiCaprio and the guy from The Shining, Mark Wahlberg. Jack Nicholson. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg. I have no clue who directed it, but I think it's just a good movie.
That's awesome.
So in Little Miss Sunshine, I've never seen that movie, but like, what would be some things from that film that you would kind of take away to implement on your own?
Like I said, Little Miss Sunshine definitely inspired me to like stop dragging, I guess, when writing. You know, it's very easy because my writing style is very like, I try to emulate exactly how people talk, and this leads to a lot of drag, a lot of like, you know, meandering.
As possible.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of sidetracks, there's a lot of meandering, and so Little Miss Sunshine kind of like, it's a film that reminded me kind of just to get to the point, you know?
Okay.
Like, yeah.
That's a really good point, because I feel like sometimes in movies, like I just watched this movie called Eddington. It was filmed here. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but I want to.
I won't spoil anything. I thought it was better without like the first hour of the movie, because it definitely dragged.
Yeah.
But I feel like some of the points were still there for some parts, but the writing was just a little long. Okay. And another question I was wondering, this is a little bit more about the characters and kind of about the script. So like, when you're helping an actor try to like create this character with you to execute it, how do you help them be somebody who's nothing like them?
Well, fortunately, I've never really been in a situation where an actor has had to stretch their personality like past their conventional limits, right? Most of the time the writing is actually shaped by the actor. A good example is last year we made a film, Senior Assassin, and I had originally written the main character to be like, oh, he's cool, you know, he's got a charm to him. And then, Cyrus came in, and he auditioned. I was like, okay, I'm open to seeing what he does with this. And he made a very socially awkward, very like, kind of just out of it character.
Yeah.
And I love that so much more than what I wrote. And so a lot of times I think I just try to shape the character in a way that the actor is comfortable with, or at least in a way that the actor is naturally able to convey themselves.
Like with the best execution.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to like try a little too hard.
And the other thing is like, comedies. Like, I'm a teenager. I write a lot of comedy stuff. And so like it's very easy to ask a teenager, hey, just be silly,
Yeah.
do what you want, be goofy, Yeah.
There's not a lot of extreme thought
Yeah.
behind just being comedic. Which is honestly, that's like a blessing. I want to know, does the Western, like, what's the tone? Is it super serious or like?
It is not serious at all.
Okay.
It is not to be taken
That's
seriously.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, does it have a name?
We're working on a name.
Working on it. Okay.
Yeah. Funnily enough, we finished the script before having a title, which I feel like is the case for most films.
Yeah, I feel like that's true because when I make music, usually the song title doesn't come until I'm about to release it. Like,
Yeah.
That's mostly like the biggest afterthought possible in production.
Exactly.
So are you the lead director for this film, or
Just
just heavily influenced source?
I was technically like lead writer, but
Okay.
I co-directed with Cassius and Michael,
Okay.
who were instrumental because I was stressing.
Yeah.
You
Fair
know?
enough.
Yeah.
It's hard when you it's hard without a group.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, since you are, we'll just say you guys are like all the co-directors for the big vision, right? When you're trying to be able to glue the pieces together, in this film, have there been any really like struggle areas where things took a little while to piece?
So what would end up happening was that, funnily enough, it was me and Michael writing the scripts, and what had happened was that Terrell, he comes up to us and he's like, hey, we usually do stories that include only one timeline, one storyline. How about we do multiple main characters?
Like the subplot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. And so me and Michael, we were like, okay, for the sake of time, how about we do 3, right? 2 scenes for each, and then one big convergence scene at the end. But the issue was that I had an idea for a scene, and he had an idea for a scene, and then we didn't have 3.
No.
And so there were like 3. The third plot line was built entirely just to fit the first 2 together, which I would say isn't exactly the best idea. You want to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You can't it's like the bridge has to be its own kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was really the only main writing issue. It was just we went so long without that third plot line that we just kind of just had to tie it all up at the end in a very lackluster way. Kind of just and then this person gets knocked out and this person gets knocked out and conveniently this happens and we're all fine by the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the movie magic right there, the movie plot. All right. Filming isn't easy, for sure. I've known that much. And so what kind of pressures do you what kind of pressures do you feel in filming when the vision in your head doesn't match what you can do in real life or doesn't match what you're seeing?
The pressure is mainly I guess the main hindrance most of the time is the schedule, right? Because I would get there and I have a plan. All right, 2 scenes today, 2 scenes tomorrow, maybe 2 scenes on the third day.
Yeah.
And so what would happen was that we would get there, and this is my fault, right? Because I didn't I didn't do major scheduling. I just had the scenes and I had a shot plan.
Yeah.
And I was just
the skeleton. Outline.
And what would happen was that we filmed 1 scene on the first day, and then it became nighttime. So we were like, oh, that doesn't match up with the timeline of the film. And so then we would have to film, kind of schedule everything else to match up with the lighting of the course of the day.
Right. Over the timeline of the film.
And so what we ended up doing was we filmed 4 scenes on day 2. twice as many as we were planning. And, day 3, I just didn't want to film. So I was like, I love film, but I
Sometimes
felt,
you're just not feeling it.
yeah, I felt like everybody needed a break, Everybody was doing their own thing. They had their own creative visions, and they were, God, they had to bear with me so much. I was making such abhorrent requests, and so I talked with Michael, and he was like, "Yeah, just take today to chill. They deserve it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the main hindrance, like I said, it's the schedule.
Yeah. Making sure everything fits in and
Yeah.
gets done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like for broadcast, especially, the schedule is also critical because there are so many segments that you have to get through, but there's also a lot of time, sort of say, even though it's one day, there's a lot of time and creativity that needs to go in there also. So I get that for sure. Okay. Last question that I've got here from our special Ponder crew. Why a Western? Was this just kind of like a group discussion, or?
So the Western was made almost out of spite.
Oh.
So what happened was 2 years ago we made a pirate film, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I remember
we're
that.
in the middle of New Mexico.
There's no water.
I don't, yeah, and also I just don't like green screen. I don't want to make a green screen film,
Right, yeah.
And so, I was just like, okay, how about next year we make a Western? And then the next year we made Mad Max, which was a step closer because Mad Max is very desert, very apocalyptic. And then I just kept Western in my brain because I like Westerns.
Westerns are good.
Yeah.
I like Westerns too.
They're a little outdated in some aspects.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I still enjoy it. Yeah. And I was like, middle of the desert. Let's take advantage
Easy
of
to
that.
film. Don't have to
Yeah.
worry about location all that much.
Yeah.
Sorry for the technical difficulties real quick. You're probably at the moment looking at a picture of me, Lucas, and Akir at the table. Because the camera did something. And we're going to have to cut it here. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Akira, thank you very much for coming on today and talking about these topics, getting your opinion.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is great.
I'm excited to see it. I heard we were filming a Western, and I was hyped.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see it.
I'm excited to finish it and show it to everyone.
Yeah,
It's going to be great.
I think it's going to be great too. Awesome. Well, appreciate it very much, and make sure to listen to the next episode of the Panda podcast.
Say it 3 times fast.
Papa Panda Podcast.
Papa
Panda
Podcast.
Papa Panda
Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Papa Panda podcast.